This image captures one of the strangest wartime tricks of World War I. A tiny soldier concealed inside an elephant foot disguise, used to hide the tracks of the troops marching ahead. It perfectly reflects Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck's style of warfare in German East Africa. Not strength through numbers, but survival through deception, speed, and improvisation. What makes the picture so unforgettable is that it looks almost absurd at first glance. Yet behind that absurdity is a cold, practical idea, turning even footprints into a battlefield weapon. This photo feels stolen from history, a split second where ordinary people look completely real, unaware they are becoming memory. The worn texture, faded tones, and imperfect framing make it feel less like an image and more like evidence from a vanished world. This image feels like a recovered fragment of real life, not a staged reconstruction. The faces, worn textures, and faded light make the moment feel immediate, as if history was caught breathing for a second. This photograph feels alive because nothing in it asks for attention, yet every detail pulls you deeper into the city. The crowded sidewalks, period cars, and unposed movement make 1940s New York feel immediate, like you stepped into one ordinary afternoon that history accidentally preserved. This photograph feels like a quiet witness to a vanished world, where everyday life moved across stone streets without any sense of being recorded for history. The horse carriages, worn signage, and candid movement give it the kind of truth that staged historical images almost never capture. This photo is unsettling because it captures Kurt Cobain in a place built for spectacle, yet he looks almost private inside it. The massive cross behind him turns the image into something accidental and symbolic at once. Fame, ruin, and vulnerability all locked into one frame. This photo feels effortlessly alive. The bicycles, sunlight, and unposed faces make 1950s Rome look less like nostalgia and more like a real afternoon caught in passing. What makes it strong is its restraint. Nothing is exaggerated, so the city, the style, and the people all feel completely true. This photo carries the weight of a city still learning how to stand again, and that is what makes it powerful. The tired faces, worn brick facades, and period traffic turn late 1940s London into something deeply human. Not a romantic memory, but a lived reality shaped by aftermath, endurance, and routine. Its strength is that nothing feels arranged. The frame breathes with ordinary life, and that honesty makes the history hit harder. This photo is unforgettable because it turns something ordinary into something strangely unsettling and tender at the same time. The baby sitting on the outside of the car feels like a snapshot from another world, a moment when everyday life looked simpler, riskier, and completely unfiltered. This photo feels powerful because the emptier street makes every figure matter more. The silence, worn facades, and unforced expressions create the sense of a city holding its breath between ordinary life and history. This photo feels less like a reconstruction than a piece of time that somehow survived. The cobblestones, carriages, and unposed figures give it real historical weight, as if the street was captured in the middle of an ordinary moment that later became unforgettable. This photo is striking because the subject's stillness feels stronger than the studio setting around him. The instrument dominates the frame like an extension of his identity, turning the image into more than a portrait. It feels like a statement of presence, tradition, and quiet authority. This photo feels almost cinematic without losing its truth. The rain-slick street, blurred movement, and dim reflections make 1948 New York seem restless and alive. What gives it real power is that nothing looks staged. It feels like the city was caught mid-breath, with all its fatigue, weather, and human anonymity still intact. This photo feels effortlessly real because nothing in it tries to impress you. It simply lets the morning exist. The wet cobblestones, quiet faces, and small cafe details make 1931 Paris feel intimate, lived in, and completely believable, as if the city revealed itself for one unguarded minute. New York City in 1885 was a city of constant motion, where horse-drawn streetcars, immigrants, and ambitious workers filled the streets every day. The skyline was beginning to rise with some of the world's first skyscrapers, marking the start of New York's transformation into a global metropolis. New York was alive with ambition, where crowded streets brought together newcomers, chasing opportunity, and workers building the future. Towering new buildings began to redefine the skyline, turning the city into a symbol of progress and limitless possibility. The World's Fair celebrated an age when engineering and imagination pushed the boundaries of what seemed possible. The newly unveiled Eiffel Tower stood as the boldest symbol of innovation, drawing millions of visitors from around the globe to witness the future rising above Paris. The world's largest and most luxurious ocean liner was seen as the ultimate symbol of human ambition and engineering. Thousands gathered at the harbor, believing they were witnessing the beginning of a journey that would redefine transatlantic travel forever. No one on the crowded decks could imagine that this farewell would become one of the most unforgettable moments in maritime history. The ship's story would later inspire countless books, documentaries, and one of the highest-grossing films ever made.